Hi, so I'm going to show you a tool that I use with my students all the time. It's not a web-based tool, but we are an iPad district and I use Keynote all the time. So I thought I would show you that and then show you how my kids submit it to me so that I can grade it easily in SpeedGrader. So I'm on an iPad. So if I go to Keynote, I can do all kinds of things with Keynotes. One of the things that we do is we create connection webs in my classroom, so we can do everything within Keynote. And so my students will create this in Keynote and then submit it to me as a movie. So this is an example where we have created what we call a noun chart. So the first thing we do in an assignment is we go through and we talk about the people, the places, the things, and the ideas, and we can list those using the writing feature. So in Keynote, you can just write on here. So you can write right on there with a pencil, with an Apple Pencil, or with just your finger. But what I like about it is that we can take our conversation about these people, places, things, and ideas a little bit farther by drawing lines between two things that connect. And then students can either write their connections on the lines. So sometimes students will zoom in and they'll actually write their connection right here. They'll write it right there, like they'll explain the historical significance of why those two things connect. But what I also really like is in Keynote, they can input audio. So they can just record. So if I go to the plus, then I can just hit record and I can say, these two things are connected because yada, yada, yada. And then when I hit insert, it's just going to drop that in and I can now drag it around. So these two things are connected because yada, yada, yada. And if I don't like it, I can, maybe I can delete that. But what I have students do is they just drag their audio to the lines. Let's see what this one says. The Mississippi River was the western boundary of the 13 colonies after the Treaty of Paris. So students can, step one, we talk about the Revolutionary War. We write down people, places, things, and ideas. Then they draw connections between those two things. Then they can use this tool to go in and add audio on top of it. Now, where Canvas comes in is I grade on an iPad and SpeedGrader sometimes. And so I just have students export this as a movie. And when they export that as a movie, the audio comes with it and it becomes super easy to grade. So they just go through this part and then they can share it straight to Canvas on their iPad. It becomes super easy to grade for me because in SpeedGrader, the movie just plays right there. So you can now see I'm in SpeedGrader and I can even either zoom in or I can just do it right here. And when I play it,
President Adams was the vice president for George Washington.
It plays right within SpeedGrader on Campus on an iPad. Now, on a computer, I have to download them. So this works really well for me in the iPad platform. I'm not sure if I would use it so much if my students were using computers.